was like, I told this one girl, I was like, dude, police officer, she turned away.
Pregame.tv, we're supposed to be breaking down NFL action, Houston Texans, whether they're going to go over or under. But the conversation we're having is Vegas used to be you'd stay out all night, and then you would sleep by the pool and get a few hours of sleep, and it was very relaxing.
And you got at night again.
Now VR, everyone is getting the cabanas, going to the day clubs.
Before the nightclub.
There's no more resting, right?
No rest.
There is getting the bottle service at the cabana.
And then at night.
And you get a hammer. That's your lifestyle still. It's phenomenal, right?
For 41, could be worse, right? Should be worse.
Brian's going to sleep at 8 o'clock at night, and he's not even doing the bottle service during the day.
It makes me tired just listening to his stories.
It's amazing. I
got a lot of living to do before I die, man.
My idea of the pool is to
kill me.
I go home and I'm sweating like a pig, and then I jump in the pool before I come down and do the videos here. So that's my idea. Bottle service is like cracking open a Mountain Dew, you know. So when we're talking Houston Texans, they got some nice clubs down in Houston.
Great nightclubs.
But let's
great city.
Let's stay on the topic. A couple years ago, they got all their quarterbacks. Their job went down. They still, I believe, they won
a playoff game on the road.
Won a playoff game.
T.J. Yates.
T.J. Yates' parents watching it was a nice story. Then here's a team that's been on the cusp. They're getting close to contending, not quite there, but you think maybe we see improvement this year.
I absolutely love Houston over this year. Season wins. Last year, that was the biggest bet I gave before the season started. Mm-hmm. It was pretty much the exact same number it was the year before. And if you remember, like you touched on, they lost all those quarterbacks. So all they had to do last year was be as good as they were the year prior, and the only difference was that Shaw was going to be a quarterback. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I think putting this number at 10, and like you said before we went on, you even see a 9.5, and I've seen as high as a 10.5.
I saw a 9.5 over minus 30.
Exactly.
Throw in the studio.
To me, that's free money. This is a 10-win team, easy.
But the division,
I think they're closer to an 11, 12-win team. I really do. Here's why. There's only two teams in the NFL last year that finished top 10 offense, top 10 defense. Houston was one of them. They're as balanced as it comes. I love the fact that for the last 3 seasons, they have been the sexy pick before the year started. This year, they're no longer the sexy pick. And that's when these kind of teams get it done. They remind me of the New Orleans Saints the year I bet them at 25-1. Because of the offense, 2 years leading up, they were that sexy pick. No, everyone jumped off them the year they won that Super Bowl. I'm not saying Houston's going to do that, but this team's not going to regress. I just don't see how they're going to regress when offensively, their top draft choice, DeAndre Hopkins, he's going to spread the field now with Johnson. You have 2 wide receivers that are amongst the best in all of the NFL. You have a 3-headed monster in the backfield.
You're hoping the second wide receiver is going to be there. We can't be sure.
Agree. Schaub, every season,
solid.
The guy is 4,000 yards 3 straight years. Defensively, you have the defensive player of the year on the defensive line. They were 5-0 before Cushions went down. Now he's back and he's 100%. I don't see any reason at all this team is going to take a step back.
And a great running back.
I think they're ready to take a step forward. Why wouldn't they win 10 games?
I think part of it is people are saying that they're a little bit soft.
Ed Reed came. He's going to toughen them up.
And I think that maybe that's because life is so easy in that division. They get to beat up on Tennessee, get to beat up on Jacksonville, and then it's kind of like they've clinched the division by, actually, they had a chance of, Indianapolis had a chance actually of overtaking them late, but they pretty much had the division won.
Are the Colts going to regress?
So I think the Colts probably are certainly going to regress. I think with that big home field, probably still win 9 games, 8 or 9. I was going to play them under, and then I looked at it's so hard because Jacksonville's 2 wins right there.
So the Texans are going to win the division, right?
I think the Texans are going to win the division. One thing I liked about this.
So isn't that an automatic over?
What I liked about the Texans is I looked at when we look at their field games, they have to play the AFC West, they have to play the NFC West. So one tough division, one easy division.
Right.
But then in their field games, they're like, their first place schedule. Well, they get to play Baltimore, who's arguably the 3rd best team in the AFC North.
A coin flip to make the playoffs even.
Exactly. So that's not like the normal problem. And New England, who normally is a 14-2 juggernaut,
people can't get enough money on the under.
New
for
England's
them.
a 10-6 type team. So suddenly I got a 10-6 and a 9-7 type team I got for my first place schedule. That's doable, absolutely. So suddenly they get Denver at home, I believe, which is another break. You know, when they're playing against the AFC West, I added it up and I said, you know, Bryan and I, we don't say win loss. We say 0.7 wins,
right,
0.38 wins. We added it all up, and I went ahead and got it north of 10. So Bryan, what do you think?
You made a point. You talked about the two outside of division game or conferences or divisions.
I call them field games.
Field games
within the conference. Yeah.
The last 2 years, this team has dominated the AFC, 9-3 against division, you know, the last couple of years, 4-4 against the NFC the last 2 years. Now they're playing the NFC West, San Francisco, Seattle.
That's what we want.
An improved Rams team, an Arizona team that could go either way.
That's 5.5 points. Playoff ready.
Arizona's garbage.
But let me point out, you discounted the AFC West. Denver, possibly the best team in the AFC. Kansas City is going to be far better than they were last year. San Diego no longer has their former coach. Got to be better.
7-9.
And you know what you're going to get out of the Raiders.
Garbage.
So I'm not so sure the out-of-division schedule is conducive for them to win that many games. That said, because the teams in their division are so bad.
Yeah, you're not asking a lot. Right?
You're not asking a lot.
You're not asking this team to win 12 games for you to cash a ticket. They're not. You don't need them to be.
They get 5 bye weeks. They get their normal bye week. They get 2 Jacksonvilles
and 2 Tennessees.
They get 2 Tennessees, and they get Arizona, and they get Oakland. So they get 7 bye weeks.
That's what I mean. I mean, you're not asking them to be extraordinary to cash this ticket. Like, I'm not asking them to really exceed any kind of market expectation.
You're just asking them to do what they've always done.
Yeah, to just stay consistent. And they've shown me the last 2 seasons that they're a consistent football team.
They've been able to win with injuries, key injuries.
Right.
I don't think both Tennessee games will be buys. I think Tennessee will be able.
I'm exaggerating, but absolutely.
They do have some easy teams on the schedule, but you know, as you pointed out, San Francisco, Seattle, Denver.
And one ancillary thing will make this official. Let's see, Seattle, Percy Harvin. He's out indefinite amount of time. Crabtree's down for San Francisco. Willis has got a broken hand. I mean, you look at all these opponents. Denver, their O-line is in shambles now. I mean, it's almost like every team that they play out of the division is having injuries.
And no one's talking about Houston. They're sick of the sexy pick not.
Let's make it official.
Getting naked. They're sick of it. Only thing left to do now is bet it, right? Go ahead, take the Houston Texans over season wins. They went out and they got Ed Reed to toughen up a team whose weakness was they were soft. This was a soft football team. That's not going to happen with OG Ed Reed in that locker room. They went out and grabbed Leckler, one of the best punters in all of the NFL, to improve their special teams. This team's getting ready to take that next step. And that next step is getting to the AFC Championship game. I really do think this team could get that far, if not make it to the Super Bowl where they do meet the New Orleans Saints. That's for another video. But go ahead, bet over 10, over 9.5. Get the best number you can, obviously. But this is an 11 to 12 win football team. You know the division's weak. Steve touched on the schedule. We have Bryan, who even agrees that all this team has to do is stay consistent. I see no reason they're not going to take another step forward. Bet Houston over.
I like the play. Winner.
And
like
easy money.
Like I said, you can get a 9.5.
Problem is, you're getting it at the sharpest sports book there is, I'm sure.
Well, just because it's the sharpest sports book, a lot of times what happens is you see like overreactions on numbers, and then let's see where it closes, because I think money will be coming right back. It is so nice to be doing football here, pregame.tv. We can't wait. All kinds of videos here throughout the summer.
Are we talking Crimson Tide next?
We're going to be talking all kinds of things.
Roll Tide?
Stay with us at pregame.tv. We will be right back.
Roll Tide.